International Training for Elders and Responsible Ones, March 2023. General Subject: Knowing, Experiencing, and Living the All-Inclusive Christ for the Genuine Church Life. Message 8. The vision, experience and enjoyment of the glorious and excellent Christ as the supreme preciousness of God for the genuine church life. Day 5. Outline. Capital C. Christ takes care of the churches and His divinity with His divine love, signified by the golden girdle at His breasts, to nourish the churches. Number 1. He nourishes us with Himself, as the all-inclusive Christ, in His full ministry of 3 stages: incarnation, inclusion and intensification, so that we may grow and mature in the divine life, to be His overcomers, to accomplish His eternal economy. Number 2. As the walking Christ, He gets to know the condition of each church, and as the speaking Spirit, He trims and fills the lampstands with fresh oil, the supply of the Spirit. Capital D. The Lord's 7 eyes are like a flame of fire, for watching, observing, searching, judging by enlightening and infusing. Christ's eyes are for God's move and operation on earth, since 7 is the number for completion in God's move. Capital E. Christ is the one who lives forever and ever. By knowing the Lord as the God who lives forever and ever, we can be assured of His presence in our spirit all the time. Nothing establishes us more than the assured presence of the Lord. Morning nourishment. Revelation 1:14. And His head and hair were as white wool, as snow. And His eyes were like a flame of fire. Revelation 1:18. And the living one. And I became dead, and behold, I am living forever and ever. Christ is not only human, but also divine. He is the Son of Man, wearing a golden girdle, signifying His divinity as His divine energy. His divinity as the divine energy nourishes the churches in many ways. He is the high priest, with His divinity as the energy belt, to nourish us with Himself, as the all-inclusive Christ, in His full ministry of 3 stages. Our Christ today is our high priest. He is cherishing us in His humanity. Meanwhile, He is nourishing us in His divinity, with all the positive aspects of His person. In His humanity, He is cherishing us, to make us proper, so that we may be happy, pleasant and comfortable. In His divinity, He is nourishing us, so that we may grow and mature in the divine life, to be His overcomers, to accomplish His eternal economy. Today's reading. Christ's eyes are for watching, observing, searching, judging by enlightening and infusing. We must experience all these different aspects of His eyes, especially the aspect of infusing. His eyes infuse us with all that He is. His infusing eyes are a flame of fire, which is continually burning. This can be proved by our experience. Since the day we were saved, Christ's eyes have been like a burning fire, enlightening and infusing us. His eyes also stir us up, to be hot. After Christ has looked at us, we can never be cold, as we once were. By looking at us, He burns us, and stirs us up in the Lord. Perhaps when we are trying to hide something from our wives, the Lord comes with 7 shining eyes, piercing into our being, and exposing our true condition. I have had this kind of experience hundreds of times. When I was arguing with others, especially with my intimate ones, the shining eyes of Christ were upon me, and I could not go on speaking. His shining stopped my mouth. By knowing the Lord as the God, who lives forever and ever, we can be assured of His presence in our spirit all the time. This is not a feeling, an imagination, or a psychological illusion. After Abraham followed God for many years, he began to develop a deep knowledge of the Lord, and he planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. Daniel was called the servant of the living God. When he was thrown into the lion's den, God sealed up the mouth of the lions, and they did not hurt him. George Muller said, "If you walk with God, and look to Him for your constant help, the living God will guarantee that He will not fail you." One elderly brother in the Lord testifies that God has never failed him. Through severe difficulties, heavy trials and deep poverty and needs, I have learned that God has never failed me. I can trust in Him through His grace, that He will always supply me. I love to speak of His name. One writer said that Martin Luther was once apprehensive of the danger facing him. He was full of anxiety and fear. He knew that he could not be freed from it until he grasped hold of some power from on high. While he sat alone, he wrote with his fingers these words on his table: "He is living forever and ever." With these words, he rejoiced and was revived. Men are like lighted lamps. Sooner or later, they will be extinguished. He alone is the true light, the source of all lights, and He alone abides forever. Brothers and sisters, the living God whom Abraham called upon, whom Daniel served, whom Muller trusted, and whom Martin Luther knew, is the God to whom we also belong, and whom we also serve. We should worship Him, and praise His name with joy. This is the end of Day 5 of Message 8.